And we're back with the Taigen Tanks, or Taigen Tanks, I'm really not sure how to pronounce it. IMEX Panzer IV. And here we are. What a beautiful tank. And I mean beautiful. It has metal tracks. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, yeah, she's got metal tracks all right. They even have track sag. That is unbelievable. It really is. They even have track sag. Look at that. That's amazing. It really is. I'm kind of a tank nut. I really do like tanks. There's some of the styrofoam. But, yeah, the barrel, the gun barrel is metal. It feels cold. So, it's very nice. Very nice details. There's the 7.92 bow gunners. All the hatches are taped down. Okay, so here's your commander's cupola. Here's the side entry hatch for, I believe that would be the, looks like, I don't know if that's the gunner or the loader. I don't really know the layout on this vehicle. It might be the gunner. I can't tell because that could be the opening for the sight. Well, I'll tell you what. We're going to say the coax is right there. So normally the coax is for the loader, not for him to fire necessarily, and that's a vent. There's a fan underneath that which blows, and it exhausts all the fumes from when they open up the breech after the gun is shot. So these early guns did not have bore evacuators. So now they have a nice muzzle or a nice muzzle brake. As you can see, has a nice muzzle brake, but they didn't have bore evacuators. So when you open the breech of the weapon system, air would rush in, and the smoke, a lot of the smoke would come inside the turret. So that would be a bit disadvantageous. Although, and I think this might be to expel rounds if you have, spent casings to get them out of the turret. But in any event, okay, we're not going to get that deep into it. But suffice to say, look at it. Look at all the details. These are transmission access points. Again, that's the bow. That's the radio operator / bow machine gunner. This was the driver over here. Very nice driver's vision details up here. So, again, they did a really nice job. This vehicle shoots 6mm BBs, of which they're right here. And I also have a whole bunch as well that I purchased in addition to what came with the vehicle. Here's your 7.2 volt. This one's a 2000 milliamp nickel metal hydride battery. It's good old fashioned nickel metal hydride, and this will power this vehicle. I believe for 20 or so minutes, maybe 25 minutes. It's not a race car in any way, shape, or form. It's a tank, so if you drive it around in a scale fashion, should be good to go. Okay, here's your 2.4 gigahertz remote controller. It does feel kind of toy grade to me. There's toy grade, there's hobby grade. It feels toy grade to me. Kind of a hard ABS plastic. Whatever. Here's the joysticks. So you just simply pressure fit. There are pressure fit into the transmitter. There's two. And they're actually in the battery compartment. So when you get one of these vehicles, they're in the battery compartment, which even though it has a screw hole that's supposed to hold this in place, it doesn't have the screw. But it's pressure fit, detent fit, so it's not going to just come out anyway. So it's pretty hard to get off. So you can see there's those little detents right there and right there, front and back. Here's the inside of the battery compartment. I believe this takes 8 standard AA batteries for power, and there's a little piece of foam in there. I don't know if that's to keep the batteries in place or not, but there it is. Okay, enough about the transmitter. The tank accessories came in this nice little tank accessory pack. So this is the pack that comes, or this is what comes inside that pack. You have a somewhat frightened looking, look at those eyes. Oh my God. I'm not sure if I want this guy commanding my tank or not. He looks rather frightened. Anyways, hey, the commander of the vehicle is in there. Some additional tanker bars, looks like some pry bars for added detailing. And they're already painted. It's neat. They're already grunged up like they've been on the Eastern Front. There's some additional metal track links. So if you have to replace track links, you can. And we'll go over some of these details once the tank's actually put together. Again, here's the BBs, and here's some decals. And these are stickers. They're not decals. Now, I'll say this. I'll probably go with some actual water slide decals, and I'll use some microsol or some other decal setter for this vehicle. Because I'll tell you what, look at this thing. Look at this thing. It is beautiful. I mean, I don't want to spoil this vehicle with some shiny, I mean, toy-like stickers. Besides, German numbering system was normally 3 numbers, like maybe 385 or, you know, what have you, or something like that. I used to know the numbering system by heart, as in it was like, you know, the 3rd tank of the 8th company of the 5th battalion or what have you. No joke, really. That's what that means. And so they would have them on the turret, and there'd be a 3 number, so you could see the tank right away and know, was this one of the tanks in your company or not, or what have you, okay? But another thing about this paint scheme, it looks rowdy. I mean, it is awesome. It's airbrushed. It is detailed. It's just gorgeous. They did a fabulous job with it. Again, metal tracks, complete with track sag. I mean, it's just, this thing is amazing. And I think, no, this has the plastic drive sprockets. Darn it. I hope it had the, I was wishing it had the metal ones. But the barrel is metal. The barrel's metal, so that's nice. I'll tell you, let's spin her around here real quick. See the track? How you put your thumb on it, but by the idler wheel, and slop. I mean, that's amazing. Now these paired bogies, these paired road wheels, pivot, they rock. Okay, so it's not an individual torsion bar suspension on this vehicle. They had stops. You'll see they have bump stops here in the back and in the front of each one of these assemblies, and they could rock a certain amount. The return rollers, there's 4 return rollers, and then the idler wheel in the back here, okay? The exhaust, I mean, the back just looks as grungy as it gets. It really does. The back looks like the vehicle's been driving around the Eastern Front. I mean, it's just amazing. I like the feathering of the weathering. I don't want to make a rhyme out of it, but I just did. Oops. But I like the way it's feathered. These edges are feathered and gives it additional depth. It really does. So they did a really good job when they painted this vehicle. So, and it weighs, I'm telling you, I'm kind of manhandling it, and it weighs, I mean, it weighs a pretty penny. I don't know, 5 pounds maybe? I don't know. But anyway, I went online to try to find a picture of this vehicle, you know, or a German vehicle in this paint scheme, and I couldn't find one. Please post in the comments if you do, and feel free to post in the comments if you find the paint scheme and whatnot, and post a link, what have you. But the closest thing I found to this was a Bulgarian Panzer IV painted like this. So I did find a Bulgarian tank painted like this. But I have not seen any in German markings with this sort of almost a splinter camouflage, okay? So here's your tank target, okay? So you can set this up and shoot the BBs at it. With some of my older tanks, I've actually shot Coke cans. It's a lot of fun because they come out with such force, they will literally dent a Coke can at about 10 feet away, an empty Coke can, put a nice dent in it and knock it around. It's really neat. So yeah, I can't wait to get this vehicle going, and we're going to test her inside on carpeting. We're going to test her outside in the dirt here in the desert, in the Mojave Desert, which is a bit ironic because this vehicle is painted up in snow colors. And you know what? There's still snow on the ground up in the mountains. I may take a drive up there and test run her up there. I don't know. We'll see what kind of time I have. We'll see what we can do. In any event, I don't want to make any promises, but heck, now that I think about it, I might try it. Okay, let's look at the manual. First of all, it comes with this nice little safety sheet. It really does. Look, wear goggles, okay? Do not aim at the people or animals. This one's, I'm sorry, I don't want to laugh. Don't shoot your eye. You kid, you'll shoot your eye out. That's an American thing. Maybe some of our friends watching from overseas will understand. It's from a movie called The Christmas Story. Christmas Story. And the kid wanted a BB gun. That's all he wanted was a BB gun. And his dad and everybody he met just kept saying, "You're going to shoot your eye out." Well, here's a Christmas story. You'll shoot your eye out. Okay, don't do that. Anyway, hey, look, don't drive your tank in the streets because a car might see it, and you might actually get a driver with X's on their eyes. Okay, like this guy does. This little guy right here has little cartoon X's on it. Oh, it doesn't. He's squinting. I don't know what he's doing. Looks like he has X's. Anyways, don't drive your tank in the street. Don't drive your tank or allow small infants to swallow anything. And keep your antenna away from faces. Now, the tank has no antenna. Oh, and don't put your fingers, like this, because next thing you know, it's like, ouch. This drive wheel will get you. Anyway, I'm not making fun of this. I'm really not. Hey, I'll tell you what. If you buy one of these vehicles, please pay attention to all these rules. And I mean it, by the way, especially this, though you'll shoot your eye out, because I'll tell you what. I said it earlier, these BBs come out of here with some pretty darn good velocity. And again, that's a metal barrel that's down there. You can't see it. The lighting's very poor, but that's a metal barrel. Now, check this out. This is on the box, on the reverse side of the box. And this is what comes with the vehicle. You have one German tank. One. You got the radio system. You have a manual. Get the BB pellets. There's smoke fluid. Now I have the smoke fluid. I've already taken it out of the vehicle because it had a little bit of a leak. So I don't have it on my fancy bed here with the zebra stripes. Okay. Anyways, I didn't want to have it here leaking on the bed, but it does come with smoke fluid. Came with the 2,000 milliamp battery, the charger, which is right back here. Where is it? Here we go. It's your standard El Cheapo charger, but hey, it'll work, and it'll probably charge the battery in, I don't know, a day. But I'm going to get a different charger. You got the Target I showed you. You got the accessory box. Okay, very good. So there we have what comes in the vehicle. Now let's show you the owner's manual, or certain pieces of the owner's manual, and then we will close this out. So you go to page, 6, and it has the same warnings in the Taigen Tanks handout. And here you have a really neat, on page 7, you have a really neat display of all the different parts. Okay, so if you don't know tankology, and it's neat because it's in German and English. So you have your Leitnrad or idler wheel, your Sturzrollen, your Kette, which your track, your Sturzrollers, your return rollers, your Laufrollen, road wheels, drive sprocket, etc., etc. Your turret, barrel, etc. Okay, it's very well detailed. Shows you everything that's supposed to come with the tank. Picture the manual. Picture the box. Here's your, the RC box. Here's your battery, charger, etc. Notice. And it took me a while to kind of get my head around this. And then they have a really good detail about how to work everything. Okay, how to steer your tank, how to drive your tank. And I'll show that to you while I'm driving the tank. Okay, but it shows you how to make the turret turn, how to fire the weapon system, etc., etc. How to make the gun go up and down, all the good stuff. And here's the best part: how to make it fire. Basically, you take the left stick, you just push it all the way up. You'll hear the air system charge. It goes burp, and it pop. It'll make a little pop sound, and the tank will kind of recoil back and all that. Here's a nice little picture of the tank right here. some of the warnings in German. The hop-up system. The hop-up system is basically the hop-up system is basically the BB firing mechanism. Okay. That, by the way, is a Stug 3, a Sturmgeschütz 3. That's not. That is not a Panzerkampfwagen 4. Okay, so here's the Panzer IV, and here's the accessories, and this shows you where all your accessories go. Very well detailed. I'll tell you what, they really did a good job. Now, this shows you how to put the numbers on, and like I just, I haven't even gotten here yet, right? But like I was saying, the German numbering system is generally going to be 3 numerals, and of course the German cross. But this shows you where they all go on a German vehicle. And I got to debate whether I'm going to put the German numbering system on this vehicle or not, because again, this is sort of a non-standard. This is kind of fun scale, if you want to call it that. It has a very rarely seen paint scheme, but it is a real paint scheme, but not with German markings. Like I said, it was Bulgarian. But in any event, hey, I'll tell you what, they did a great job with the manual. Okay, so great job. Kudos to Tigen / IMEX. Now, Taigen Tanks is the American subsidiary. There's a German subsidiary called Toro, T-O-R-O-O.de, I believe, or torotanks.de. And they sell a lot of the same vehicles that Taigen Tanks does. They'll sell a lot of the vehicles that IMEX / Taigen Tanks does. IMEX / Taigen Tanks is a U.S. subsidiary. They're based in Florida. And they have an extremely wide selection of beautiful tanks just like this. I have several. We're going to see several. But I'll tell you what, I need to know if this is to your liking. Okay, I really do. Otherwise, I don't know. But we'll see. If I get enough folks in the comments saying, hey, great, I want to see more tanks, then super. We'll go ahead and we'll keep featuring more tanks. Okay. Because I have plenty to show. I really do, from different manufacturers. So I have BB firing tanks. I have the IR or infrared combat tanks. So please let me know in the comments, one way or the other, and I appreciate it. I really do. If it wasn't for your support, I wouldn't be doing this stuff. Well, actually, I would be, but I would, because it's a hobby. But I appreciate the support. And again, please feel free to post whatever in the comments as far as, hey, you want to see more tanks, okay, or whatnot. Let's cover the history of the Panzer IV real quick, and then we'll end this. The Panzer IV, or Panzerkampfwagen 4, was actually an infantry support vehicle. This was not a main battle tank in its incarnation. This vehicle had a smaller, short-barreled weapon system, and I believe it was a 75, but it was designed to be used against bunkers, and it was basically an infantry support vehicle. The Panzer III, the Panzerkampfwagen 3, was a bit faster. It was a little bit lightly armored, more lightly on the armored side compared to this vehicle, and a bit smaller, but it was designed more or less for tank-to-tank combat. And it was designed to accommodate, didn't have initially, but to accommodate up to a 50mm gun, and they ultimately had a long-barreled 50, an L42, and I think they had an L50 in it. And it was a really KWK weapon system. It was an outstanding anti-tank gun, the L42 on the Mark III Special is what the British called it, the Mark III Special. Ausf J and L in particular in North Africa were wonderful, and then the last incarnations. But in any event, we're talking about the Panzer IV. So the Panzer IV started off life as an infantry support vehicle, and then they eventually decided, hey, you know what? We can put a much larger gun on the Panzer IV than we can the Panzer III, so they ultimately went to a long-barreled 75, which turned out to be an excellent gun, and the Panzer IV served all throughout the entire war. In fact, I believe it was produced all throughout the entire World War II, and interestingly enough, more trivia for you, the last of the Panzer IVs were actually captured in Syria, and I believe it was in the late 60s, either during the Six-Day War or the War of 67. I can't make that up. The Syrians wound up purchasing some Panzer IVs from, well, it might have even been Bulgaria or the Czech Republic, but they purchased some Panzer IVs from some of the Eastern Bloc or the former Eastern Bloc countries, I think is where they actually got them, and or perhaps even Turkey. For some reason, Turkey's popping into my mind. Any of it, you can research it. I'll post a link if you want me to, but suffice to say, the last of the Panzer IVs were actually serving with the Syrians as late as the 1960s, if you can believe that. Talk about longevity. And anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you've enjoyed this look. And I'll tell you what, again, we're gonna get our Panzerkampfwagen IV in action inside on carpet. We'll show you how it performs. We'll get her outside in the dirt here in the Mojave Desert. And if everything goes well, we might even take a drive up into the snow near Big Bear, California, and take her for a drive in the snow. So I hope you enjoyed this unboxing first look at the IMEX Taigen Tanks Panzerkampfwagen IV. A beautiful, beautiful rendition of the Panzer IV. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Cannot thank you enough. And more to follow with this fine tank. Next videos will feature this tank in action. Thanks for watching, everybody. Cheers.